Hey guys, welcome to another video for the Redmi K20 Pro Rafael in, and it is exciting times for this wonderful device because Android 12 is out. Android 12 custom ROMs have started coming up, and this is a brand new ROM that we are talking about, Voltage OS, based on Android 12, official released on the 14th of October 2021. So we're gonna have a quick look at it. This is basically a 24-hour review in which I and one of my lead testers, Sanath, have tested this ROM, and later, if required, we may do a gaming review. I'm not really sure of that. But before we get into the 24-hour review, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. In the description of each video, you will find the link to our Telegram community where you have more than 1,000 like-minded people chatting with each other, so join us there. Last but not the least, if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button and support the channel. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, so another day, another brand new Android 12 based custom ROM. The name of the ROM is Voltage OS. They have this beautiful logo over here, so something really different and neat. It is released on the 14th of October and it comes only in vanilla version, right? So you need to flash GApps. The link will be mentioned in the description, and you need to use this particular recovery that they are recommending. Although I used the latest TWRP, that is Orange Fox recovery, and it was just fine. Always make an Android backup, be safe. ROM uses OSS vendor and custom perf-g kernel that is based on CAF, so that is good. Safety net will pass without Magisk. Also Play Store is certified, that is awesome. Thanks to TH99 for trees and Shuttercat for source build help assist. Donate UPI, so this is a UPI ID. If you want to donate the developer, you can go ahead and do it. The only bug that this developer thinks is there is SE Linux is permissive, although we have discovered a few bugs in our own testing. So let's get into the details one by one. First thing that we're going to talk about is the UI, the look and feel, and is Monet working or not, because that is what really matters for us, right? So let's see over here. The moment you swipe from the top to bottom, you have your complete Android 12 look working like a charm. You do have your Monet UI, because if you go over here and you go to wallpaper and style, say you select wallpaper, you go to wallpapers over here, on device wallpapers, you select say a orange one, and set wallpaper, home screen and lock screen. Just have a look at it. Monet is working absolutely fine. In fact, this is the complete Monet, because you do see that the app drawer itself has changed color as well. So that is something really neat. Another highlight that you will notice when you boot into this particular ROM is how minimalistic it is. It has very few applications and it is really smooth. So that is something really neat. Now to the left, of course, you have Google Feed, which works like a charm. It works way better than the latest official update of POCO X3 Pro. Yeah, I will mention that every time, because that is not how companies are supposed to treat their devices which they have already released. Now if you press and hold over here, go to home settings, you will see that you have the quick step launcher, so that is working fine. You don't have any issues there. And as far as the camera application is concerned, this has a very basic camera application. You can go ahead and try Gcam and ANX camera and stuff like that, right? So let's now go from top to bottom. Now this is where all the magic for Android 12 happens, to be honest. You have your battery saver, you have your mic access, location, camera access, you can disable them. You have extra dim, so you can go ahead and enable that. Press and hold over here and take it there. You have data saver, dark theme, bedtime mode, and storage for files by Google. So you click on extra dim, it becomes extra dim. We don't want that, right? So the quick tiles are working fine. You do have a screen recorder which allows you to record internal and external audio. So you enable this and click on start, right? So the recording has started, and as you can see, so there is something that I need to mention about the screen recorder. I'll tell you that towards the end of this video. But if you have a look, there is a slight stutter. You see this? This is what I'm going to talk about towards the end of the video. It is not as smooth, it is stuttery now after the screen recorder is enabled. So if you go ahead and disable the screen recorder, there you go. The moment you disable the screen recorder, the whole UI becomes very smooth. So this is one of the bugs, because this is going to impact your gameplay as well, right? Now let's quickly go to settings over here, and let's see if they have any voltage customization menu. pretty bare bones Android 12 stuff going on here. If you click on Android 12, maintainer Pranav Temkar, that is the name. Security patch is October. There you have it, your Android 12 Easter egg. And if you go to widgets over here, you will then have your Android S Easter egg. Touch and hold to move the widget, as you can see. In some time you will have all the different shades loading over here. So Android 12 Easter egg is working like a charm. We will talk about the battery backup and charging. So let's go ahead and talk about the additional settings first before we talk about the battery backup and charging. So in network and internet, of course, you don't have any additional options. You have connected devices, apps and notifications, standard Android 12 stuff going on there. I don't see a dedicated menu for DC dimming, which is something I miss, because yeah, I use it a lot, especially while recording videos. And all the basic Android 12 features are there. You don't have any additional features. So it does have front camera effects, it does have gestures and everything, but those are the things which are available as always in Android 12. So no specific customization menu from Voltage OS, and nothing is there in settings as well. So the Monet UI works, the settings looks great, you can use it as a daily driver definitely. What about the battery life? Now you do have thermal profiles and battery life, which is really neat. You can set the thermal profile to gaming and stuff, but unfortunately this ROM does not come with a dedicated gaming mode. That is a downside, but sooner or later they will make changes and they will improve the ROM, I'm pretty sure. If you talk about battery usage, I have been on battery for 2 hours and I have used the screen for 12 minutes. So more or less pretty decent battery backup if you ask me. But let's look what Sanath has to say from our elite testers group. This is his battery backup, 47 minutes of screen on time, right? And the usage has been pretty good. Another bug over here is that Android system intelligence keeps stopping, so we'll talk about that. This is another screenshot of battery backup. So the battery backup is pretty decent. You can easily get 6 hours plus of screen on time. I've been using it since yesterday. Sanath has been using it since yesterday, and the feedback is really great. The charging speeds are pretty good. You are getting your 100% 18 watt, and I tested 27 watt as well, in which you're getting decent charging speeds as well, and I'm not seeing the device heating up a lot. Now before we talk about the benchmark numbers, we will talk about some important notes that you should consider before you actually go ahead and flash this ROM. First things first, this ROM doesn't have a gaming mode. On the plus side, the UI is very smooth and fluid, and the performance in gaming is pretty rock solid as well. But the moment you turn on the screen recorder, the built-in or any external screen recorder, the FPS goes haywire, right? Now, as I said earlier, the battery life is decent. It can be used as a daily driver with 6 hours plus of screen on time. Unfortunately, you don't have an option to disable heads-up notification, so while gaming that will be a pain, right? Now, as far as the fingerprint scanner is concerned, it does have always on display and it does have FOD working fine. But if you leave the phone idle for a long time, like overnight and stuff, and if you use the FOD being displayed on the always on display, it doesn't work most of the time. So that is an issue. Long screenshot doesn't work properly, and status bar battery percentage is not present. So that is something that needs to be enabled in a future update. Now, apart from this ROM is performing really solid. It is a very good Android 12 daily driver. You can use it as a daily driver. Let's have a look at the benchmark numbers. Now, I did run a CPU throttle test myself, so let me show you that first. Now, as you can see over here, CPU throttled to 91% of its max performance, and the average performance is 179,160 GIPS, so that is neat. And if we talk about Geekbench over here, let's go to history. 743 single core, 2523 multi-core, so that is neat. And the benchmark numbers are doing justice to what this ROM has to say. It performs really well. There are no major issues. You can definitely use it as a daily driver. As I said, as the developer mentioned earlier as well, if you go to settings, you go to about, you have devices certified, so your safety net should not be an issue, and Widevine L1 works absolutely fine for Amazon Prime and Netflix. So all in all, a pretty rock solid ROM, Voltage OS first build, so they will fix the issues that I have mentioned. But till then, you can definitely use this as a daily driver. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling, take care, goodbye.